All right, artists, now it's time to mix your primary colors to create the secondary colors. I have a little chart attached to your paint palette so that you can remember which primary colors you need to mix together to make the secondary color that you're trying to make. I'm going to start with creating orange. I can see that the first color that I need to start with when I make orange is yellow. I'm going to use a lot more yellow and just a little bit of red to create this orange. So I'm going to dip, dip, wipe, wipe, swirl, swirl, swirl in my yellow watercolor. And then I think I'll start over here. And there is quite a bit of yellow here in this equation because I want you to use a lot of yellow. It's not quite as strong as the red, so we need to use more of it when we're creating orange. So I used a lot of yellow, and now I'm going to wash off my brush because I need to get some red. So I'm going to rinse, 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 dip, dip, wipe, wipe, and just swirl. And I don't need to do it very many times at all, maybe just 5 times. And then I touch it to the yellow and I mix it, and I mix it, mix it, mix it. And I see that yellow plus red equals orange. If you use too much red and it starts to just look red altogether, then you need to go back and wash off your brush and add a little bit more yellow. I think I could add just a touch more red. So dip, dip, wipe, wipe, swirl, swirl. I'll mix that up. But like I said, if you use too much of a color, it starts to look too red, then you can always go back, wash off your brush. We don't want to mix these watercolors together. So I'm going to rinse, rinse, rinse my brush really well and get more yellow on my brush and then mix it up until I get that orange that I really, really like. Ooh, that's beautiful. And I can even get some of these splashes too. Okay, now I'm ready to make green. I'm going to rinse off my brush really well. Now, I see for my equation I need to start with yellow again, and I need to use a lot of it. So I'm going to dip, dip, wipe, wipe, swirl, swirl, swirl. And now I'm going to get quite a bit of yellow here in my puddle. If I'm going back to get the same color, it's okay to not wash off my brush. There I go. Rinse, rinse, rinse. And now I need to get a little bit of blue. Dip, dip, wipe, wipe. Swirl, swirl, swirl. Not too much. Ooh, and look at that. Yellow plus blue equals green. That's beautiful. And I'm not worried too much about getting outside of the lines. I'm just experimenting with mixing these fun primary colors. So I'm going to dip, dip. The last equation I'm going to use is to create purple. So I need to start with red first this time. Dip, dip, wipe, wipe, swirl, swirl, swirl. Get quite a bit of red in the puddle. And I'm going to wash off my brush. Dip, dip, wipe, wipe. And I'm going to get a little bit of blue because I see red plus blue equals purple. All right. Ooh, I got the blue and I'm mixing it with the red. And I'm creating that purple. Wow, that's beautiful. And I can paint my little splashes. After I've created the secondary colors, orange, green, and purple, I can be finished if I want to. If you want to continue to paint your mice and do a little more experimentation, you can. Just please try your best not to mix those watercolors up. We want to keep them really nice for the rest of kindergarten to use as well. So once you get to this point, you can ask an Ask Me expert if they can identify all 3 secondary colors, orange, green, and purple on your paper. And if they do, then you can raise your hand to show it to me.